Rhamondre, hey, it's Scott Van Pelt. Welcome to the show, man. It's like old times. It's a January night in Foxborough and the Patriots win a game. How do you best sort of sum up the way you all were able to execute what Coach Vrabel explained to you needed to do to enjoy this evening?
Yeah, he told us we need to go out there and play, physical. We need to play a full 60-minute game. Then we're going to celebrate after, and that's exactly what happened. So we're excited over here.
Okay, so how much clowning goes on after Milton bloodies the man's lip? I mean, Vrabel's built for it, I get it, but I mean, he I don't know if you saw it, he took the grill to the lip and he's out there bleeding. I see the smile on your face.
Yeah, I didn't actually see it happen. Oh, I see it right now. Yeah, Vrabel, he's super intense. I just wonder how he was when he was actually, playing the game, how intense he is on the sideline being our coach. So I love his intensity out there.
Well, I saw it. I think it's the same. The only difference is he didn't have pads and a helmet on. He seems like the same dude, and I'm interested, Rhamondre, and sort of it's convenient to say he's why it's different, right? You were there when it wasn't like this, and now it is. How much has he been able to totally reset culture in this brief period of time?
I mean, he's played this game. He played it at a high level. He won some Super Bowls, so it's kind of easy to, listen to what he's saying and follow what he's saying because, he's been in our shoes, our exact shoes. So just getting behind him and rallying behind him, it's easy to do, and we love to do it. We love playing for him, and we just got to keep it going next week.
It's in our business, Rhamondre, we tend to look at things through the eyes of quarterbacks, right? And your quarterback has played at a remarkably high level. This was his first opportunity and had some good moments, also turned it over a few times. I mean, the best thing is when you've got room to improve and you have 60 more minutes, right? What have you seen from him throughout this season as we feel like we've seen him take a giant leap into MVP territory?
I think he attacks each week, willing to learn, eager to learn, and I think when he makes a mistake, he's very adamant on fixing it and not making the same mistake twice. And I think that's what makes him so good. And he's just a great teammate. Everybody loves him. Offense, defense, everybody.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
I mean, the defense was great tonight. Complimentary football. It earns you the right to play again. I'm interested just in this, right? It's 60 minutes of football. Did it feel different? Like knowing what it was? Maybe you watched some of the games yesterday. It's been bananas. You guys had the most comfortable win of anybody.
Right.
Did the day or the game to you feel different?
It was more intense. I think playoff games are always a little bit more at stake because the loser goes home.
Sure.
So I think it was just a little bit more urgency by both teams. And I seen how games were ending. We knew it was going to be a tough fight. And we got out here kind of comfortable, but it was still a tough fight first half and things like that. But we got it done.
All right, well, here's what we got. We got Monday Night Countdown. I'm going to Pittsburgh, then we got a game. So I'd invite you to sit back, watch, to see who's coming up to visit, and we'll let you get home tonight to get some rest, Rhamondre. Congratulations on your contributions, significant ones tonight, and all the best next week against whoever's coming to town.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Mike, how proud were you to see the effort and the finish towards the end of your defense? Obviously, they could smell blood. Milt Williams doing what he does to finish it off. And speaking of blood, how's your lip? And what's that like?
Well, we talked to him about being willing to spill some blood out there and that the big dogs come out in January. And I think Milt took that to heart in the way that he played the game and the way he finished the game. And he came over and, got me pretty good. But, that's what happens.
We never doubted it. It didn't look, it wasn't pretty, that's for sure. But this defense was so fun to watch. Congrats to them, man. It was so fun to watch. They won the game for us. I didn't throw it very well tonight. Need to be better. But we did what we had to do, and that's what it takes in the playoffs. And just proud of this team. That was fun, man. That was fun to get one at home, and look forward to be back here next week.
And I'm going to just start with you as a guy who's a football coach, to just put yourself in Vrabel's shoes. You're moving on, so that's right. Good. But when you're looking at this tape, what are you looking to clean up?
Well, listen, I think you're thrilled. You won. Like plain and simple, and that's what I'll celebrate, and that you're exactly right about that. But I think you're also going to look at it and you'll be like, listen, it's Drake Maye's first opportunity in a playoff game, and there's a lot you got to clean up there. And I think there's just even some stuff. Like, I think defensively he's going to be very happy, but he's going to know that the challenge against that offensive line is going to be different than, going forward. So there's that. But I think the thing I would probably be most concerned about is probably the carelessness with the football. Drake Maye throws an interception backed up. And I think there's an opportunity for him to be a little more patient on the play, let the tight end kind of clear underneath so that there's a lane to throw the football. Then 2 other times he fumbles. Fumbles are worse than interceptions because of where they happen. And they were at times where it didn't need to happen, where he could have just eaten it, just taken the sack. So I think that's a good thing for a coach, at least in my opinion, to go in and say, congratulations on the win, we're going to celebrate it. But, man, these are areas we need to get better at. Nearly
a 2-to-1 yards advantage in a game. And, again, the Chargers, from the minute that they lost tackles twice their starting left tackle, and Alt's obviously a difference maker, Slater in the beginning of the year. But I look at what the plays where May had time and showed poise. I feel like the good was pretty obvious as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really the difference of the game is, because Herbert had no time, May was a better scrambler, better runner, made more plays. Also, in the touchdown pass to Henry, obviously, it's a nice job of subtle pocket movement. But yeah, May, don't get me wrong, listen, and I'm the biggest Drake Maye, fan out there in terms of his game. He had his bright spots in a very big way in a playoff game against a good defense. That's good. I'm just saying, there are also going to be three opportunities for turnovers that were scary. But yeah, his good was really good, and the bad was probably really bad.
Yeah, but I think that's what all you coaches live for, is the perfect situation is winning a game that earns you the right to continue playing and an opportunity to be critical, teaching moments, etc. In terms of the larger picture as it relates to this New England team, we're in the tournament. I don't know if it even matters now. But throughout this season, what was the one thing we said? They haven't beat anybody good. Well, whatever. You just beat a Patriots team. I get that they were the last team in. But how significant is it for a young team and a guy in his first start as a quarterback to lead him to a victory?
I think the team, and I also think the fan base. The fan base got spoiled for a really long time. And now the environment in Foxborough to be like, oh, this is what this is like. And to have the excitement with Vrabel bringing it back and all that, I think it's a huge thing for everybody that's close to the organization at all. And so that's a big deal. The other thing is, Scott, is the matchup that they're going to get. Look, they're going to play one of the teams that play tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. And look, I think that, and I understand they've lost to the Steelers this year, but I think it's not a bad draw for his team.
Understood. But it's just, if there's a final thought, because we're trying to sort of give you the obits, I suppose, on the teams whose season comes to an end. From the Chargers, I don't know how we can judge them given what their line became over the course of time. They stood up the best they could tonight, but that was the issue, wasn't it?
I think it just tells you, the obit is Herbert's a warrior, an absolute warrior. And how they are building the team in terms of investing in the tackles on both sides, investing in high draft pick and drafting Hampton, finding, Vidal, who's going to be a really good player also. They're building it the right way. It just sometimes it's the war of attrition.
Yeah, the rookie Hampton was hurt tonight, a couple of snaps, and that's just the way Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth described, just didn't look right. And so I got to think they're looking for a receiver that can get some separation too, because there wasn't a whole lot of that tonight when Herbert did have an opportunity. After a remarkable victory in the belly of the beast, the Link against the reigning champions, Brock Purdy kind enough to throw on the headset. And when you threw on the headset and I just said, bro, you're hard to kill, and you kind of smiled and said, are we live right now? I said, we're not. But that's the essence of what I want to say to you. I think your greatest superpower is that. You guys are incredibly hard to kill. How do you describe that 60 minutes of football?
Man, it's playoff football, man. Anything can happen. And, for us to, go through the ups and downs, and you lose Kittle, and you're on the road, and you got to find a way to finish. The conditions were whatever, and but at the end of the day, man, coming together, offense going and scoring when we need to, and then defense getting a stop at the end, that's team football, man. So I'm very thankful for all the boys.
You guys know what it is to get to the biggest game, and this isn't that. But given who you've lost, given who you're playing, Brock, how satisfying is this victory for this group of men, given all you've been through?
Yeah, man. Obviously, all the guys that have helped build this culture that we got with, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and Kittle, for guys like that to go down and then have guys step up and find ways to win in the NFL, man. Like, it's not easy. So to be able to come out here and win on the road like that in a playoff game, like, it just feels good overall, man. So
I bet it does. Look, we all rave about Shanahan being in his bag, and you guys have an amazing sort of synergy and options that you can go to. But when you go to that play call that leads to Jauan Jennings throwing a touchdown in the stakes and the stage, when that call comes into your headset, what are you thinking?
I mean, we all just like knew what play it was, and we're like, all right, like, here we go. And so I told JJ, I was like, dude, if it's not there, throw it away. But sure enough, it was there. I look back, he got destroyed, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I look over, I see Christian catch it. The whole thing was crazy.
Right.
But JJ's a baller. He did that in the Super Bowl too. So.
Yeah, but you know that every time if a receiver's going to get that, like, he's never throwing it away. Like, I'm gonna try to get this 6 if I can, right? Like, they never want to throw it away. But and given that spot, I mean, he threw a perfect pass, and Christian made a hell of a catch.
Yeah, it was insane. And like the wind, man, I looked up and the ball's caught up in the wind and it's over the shoulder, and Christian caught it. And we all came back to the sideline. All the quarterbacks were like, dude, JJ just threw a dot. So it was cool.
And then the play to McCaffrey for what ended up being the winning touchdown. I said to my guy Stanford Steve, run some kind of Texas, and it sort of was, but you bring him from the other side. Was he your primary on that play call?
He was the last guy in the progression, but obviously we knew, like, if 1, 2, and 3 weren't there, then we were going to have a really good matchup with Christian on the backside, and sure enough, got to it, and he was right where he needed to be.
That's a good guy to have for the last progression. All right, last thought real quick. It's you guys in Seattle. You started your year up there with a win. Obviously, they got you, I guess, last week in your spot. Just a quick thought on what's required against that Seattle team that knows you so well and vice versa.
Yeah, obviously a really good team. We respect the heck out of them and how they play. And, more than anything, we got to watch this film, get better from it, clean it up, and, have a good week of preparation and get ready to go back on the road and find a way to win, man. It's playoffs. So.
Well, you did that today, and that's really the essence of this time of year. Congratulations to you and your group. Couldn't have more respect for what you all have done all season long, and certainly what you did today, Brock. Thanks for the time.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Scott.
How do you frame what that team has done? You lose Kittle in this game, who's such a gigantic piece of what they're trying to do. You're taking on the reigning champs. You've lost all these people. Your thoughts?
Just that, everyone's talked about Shanahan, the job that he's done. I mean, you think Bosa, Warner. I mean, Brock brought it up. And then Kittle in the game, so you can't really plan for it. Never mind the guys that they've had out during the year. I just think he does a good job of understanding that. It's aggressive with the trick play call when really their offense wasn't doing much. And they did an excellent job, I think, of basically running this concept 4 different times. We're going to show you 2 of them, where they take Kyle Juszczyk and they basically are going to widen him like he's running the flat. A lot of people call it an oil route. You go out and then you come back inside late, or a little trail route. You run people vertical. He's reading it out, and then he comes back to him, and that distance between he and the flat defender is wide open. They do it 2 other times to Kittle, and then this is the one you're talking about. Looks like a little Texas route as if he's coming from the other side of the formation. He's later in the progression, so he's working front side. Same thing, widen the guy that's going to be the flat defender, and then you leverage him inside. This offense without Kittle, without like true, real dominant receivers, you've got to find ways to get leverage and matchup opportunities for your running backs. Think about that's what they did in their passing game in this game once Kittle went down. It was their fullback and their tailback in the passing game.
Yeah.
Like that's what Kyle Shanahan designed, and that's quite frankly what Brock Purdy executed on.
And they earned the right to enjoy this today. But we now know, not the networks, but we now know that they and Buffalo, San Francisco and Buffalo, who played today, are playing 1 seeds next Saturday. So again, San Francisco gets a short week. I'm sure Shanahan's got to be like, are you friggin' kidding me?
When they just traveled.
Right. It's a travel from the East Coast, and it's short week. And when they just played Seattle on their home field, they got worked. How do they create some sort of a different look and reality for themselves on a short week against that terrifying Seattle defense?
Well, what you don't know is what Kyle Shanahan feels like he learned from the most recent one where they scored 3 points. So, that's the biggest thing, because to say you're going to kind of be a completely different team, you said it. Like, we talked about it after that game where it was like, what's the big takeaway? The big takeaway was like, man, Seattle's defense is brutal. Now, put Seattle's defense with the crowd noise and the energy in Seattle in a home game where you can't, have these packaged plays where you're check with me at the line of scrimmage. So, look, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to get a lot of production out of the receivers. Their running backs are going to have to be great in the passing game because it's going to be an uphill battle to get anything going against that defense, especially with no George Kittle, which we assume is going to be the case.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't know that officially, but I think we can connect the dots. You go into the link, though, and when you're staring into, and I say this with affection, absolute mutants who are furious, and they are coming for you, man. And if you can beat that crowd and that team, you've done something. Uphill battle all year for Jalen Hurts and this Eagle offense. To find consistency, they were not able to go down the field and get the drive they needed to continue the season. Here's Hurts on where it went wrong.
Having everything in front of us, it was about winning. And that's something that we didn't collectively do, and that starts with me. So I take it very personally on that.
You got to use this adversity to shape you, and that's for everybody in that locker room. Myself, the coaches, the players. Let the pain shape you to what you want to be. And we'll use this like we used it at the end of 22, 23, because all that was necessary for 24, and we'll see what the future holds.
He alludes to it. It felt very similar to the way the season ended that year, where they made the playoffs but lost on the road to Tampa Bay. They won, but it was such an odd exercise, wasn't it? It felt like forensic analysis even when they did win. What do you think happens?
Yeah, it just felt like everything was hard, and there was, I don't want to say turmoil, but there just seemed like there was friction a lot of the time and, and a lot of heat. Offensively, it made you wonder because you go, this is Saquon Barkley. They can't run the football. This is Jalen Hurts. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Why is the passing game not clicking when he's been here with these receivers? And obviously tonight you had receivers like A.J. Brown underperform. There's so much heat in terms of the coordinator position there. You have to think that it probably goes a different direction. And then if you're a Philly fan and you say like, okay, I'm excited about that. That's what I want because, look, we lost Kellen Moore because he did a great job. He became a head coach. Like replacing good coaches is hard. But then you have to think about the tax on Jalen Hurts and the fact that he pretty much has had a new play caller every year since going back to college. It's hard to be good that way.
I mean, and we're talking about like years into college. It's just every year it's a new scheme.
I mean, I get it wrong, but maybe it's like 7 different play callers over 7 years. I mean, it's a wild stat. They've changed directions, and it worked immediately in Philadelphia. They've got a ton of talent. They got a ton of passion in that fan base. We'll see, as you say, what direction things go.
Hey, that's a heck of a win and incredible toughness, man. I'm going to tell you what. This football team is as tough as I've ever seen it, and it's not stopping. We stay here. We don't blink, all right? We get one more. That's right. That's the reward for doing what we did today. We get one more. Now we got to go earn it again.
17 is a dog, man. He is a dog. Like everybody knows what he's going through, and I'm telling you, you'll never know. He'll never tell you if he's hurt. He'll never tell you. He'll never show it. I'm telling you, bro, I have the best quarterback in the world. We have the best team in the world. I love the kid. And the beautiful thing is he bought us steaks for Christmas. So we get to go home and have another steak together as a unit, and we'll try again next week.
Bills grabbed their first road playoff victory in over 30 years. Allen had ever won one. The last road win for Buffalo. They played at home a lot during these years. Jim Kelly taking on Don Shula and Dan Marino and Thurman Thomas. He was a great one if the youngsters are not familiar. As for the Jags, who are on the wrong end today, there's Trevor Lawrence on a great season coming to an abrupt end.
It's hard to get here. It's hard to win as many games as we did and win the division, and then have this opportunity, and it's still fresh losing that game today, and we feel like we can beat anyone on any day, and felt like that today, and Buffalo made a few more plays. I have so much confidence in this group and the staff and the direction we're heading, but that doesn't make you feel better about the season ending today when we feel like there was more out there for us.
How you doing today? Lynn Jones, Jacksonville Free Press News. I just want to tell you congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank you.
You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank
you. And you did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you
it.
just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am. That turned into a whole big thing about media. I get it. That's another conversation for another day. Tim is with me, and by the way, I have no issue with it at all. There's enough mean in the world. That was nice. It's okay to be nice. You're not supposed to ask that question. Relax. I'm going to ask you this question about Josh Allen. Yeah. He's an MVP, and there's still more games to win, more important games to win. Today, what did he do?
You know, I think when I've been with you a bunch and said, like, when a quarterback makes the guys around him better, that's the best thing you can say about him. But then there's also this next level, which is like when the quarterback is better than the X's and O's, like better than the play that's actually called. That's what Josh Allen did today. Here's a good example. The Jaguars are bringing a pressure from his right. It should be picked up between the running back and the offensive line. But what happens is they bust it up front. So the call gets home. And then because they're dropping a linebacker and a defensive end where Josh wants to go with the football, he should be sacked. Play should be over. Instead, on 1st and 15, it should be 2nd and 22. He ends up picking up 7 yards. It's insane. And then in this play, he's hot. They blitz the protection. So the defensive call won. He's trying to throw hot to in the outbreaking route. With a guy in his face, on his back foot, he sees the corner trying to trap it, flat-footed, nosy on it, and then launches this ball down the field to Brandon Cooks. That is way above the design of the play, way above the idea of like how you could see it in real time. And then when you think about it, that's the go-ahead, drive
Correct.
at the end there. So that right there, when you try to say like, hey, try to quantify why people think he's the best in the game. It's plays like that.
So when you're Denver and you're Vance Joseph and you got the clicker out and you're going, they won. The Jacksonville defense won this play.
Correct.
Except they didn't. They gave up 7 and they gave up 44 on a sequence where they won. That speaks to what you got to try to do to knock this guy out. Denver will be next in their path. What's your first thought of that matchup?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. Vance Joseph is going to see that and be like, man, I can have the perfect call on and still not
Doesn't
get
matter.
there. Now, the advantage that Vance Joseph has is he's got a group up front for him. They can really rush the passer. And I think that's what Denver has to, be excited about in terms of how they should feel like they can match up with Josh Allen. He's strong. He does a great job of escaping, all of that. But Denver is about as good as you can get at rushing the passer with the guys that they have up front. And Houston may take issue with that, but they're really good. And so I think just trying to corral him and then getting him down when you do get there, that's the challenge. And I think they probably feel like they have the guys that can do it.
Jacksonville's got the best rush defense in the NFL this year. Buffalo came in with the best rush offense. I wonder against Denver, who can get after the passer, if you're going to try to just lean on it, shrink it a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense. Or maybe you just say, Josh, put the cape on and do what you do.
Put the cape on. It feels like Buffalo's running backs are banged up right now, just seeing them. And quite frankly, hearing Dawkins talk, sounds like Josh is pretty banged up right now playing through it.
But they've got all you want this time of year, 60 more minutes. They've earned the right for at least that. We'll see if they can earn the right to win more.